Morning everybody, welcome back to the channel. So this week we've concentrated on getting our multi-species cover crops in after this regenerative spring wheat, and here's some footage of our modified Cousins pigtail cultivator in action. So I think it's worth outlining why we are using this machine. Last year we had variable emergence in our multi-species cover crops, as there are some large seeds that require good soil coverage. Certainly the difference between drilled and broadcasting over a chopped straw was very obvious in autumn 2022. In addition, and further to the discussion at David White's farm walk, we wanted this disturbance to help generate a spring tilth that we could use in a spring to help cover spring wheat seed. Finally, although our claydon has a wide tine spacing, good for trash clearance, it's only 4.8 meters wide and so can be expensive to run. I started looking at 6-meter tine drills but couldn't find anything cheap enough for this limited use I was envisaging. I realised I had an old autocast unit and a Cousins 6-meter pigtailed cultivator and hoped I could marry the two as a possible solution. I have been pleased with the soil results, but with an application rate of 20 kilos per hectare, we are limited by the metering system, and even filling both sides of the hopper split, our maximum speed is 6.5 kilometers an hour, which in hindsight is too slow. I have been impressed with winter beans over the last few years. Even this year, which has been a challenge for winter beans locally, we have averaged 3.7 tonnes per hectare, ranging from a strong field of 5.1 to a crop that we had decided to write off but kept, which averaged 3 tonnes. After a disappointing harvest in 2022, we made the decision to press the reset and put a long-term regenerative field into winter beans, and this achieved 3.9 tonnes per hectare. This year I have taken the unusual step of reverting this field to the regenerative cycle of multi-species cover crops and then spring wheat, rather than cashing in on winter wheat, because I want to maximise the CSS payments and avoid a return to winter weed pressure. Later in the week we actually went back over the same ground. We did a second pass over some simple wheat stubbles that are going into winter beans, and we also came back over the Cousins ground, just try and break the lumps up a little bit, produce a beautiful tilth. Really pleased with the result. We probably won't go back and roll, we'll just leave it at that. So cover crops are done, everything's all the winter cropping now has had 2 passes with the stubble rake, so stubbles are breaking down, and overall I'm really pleased. The reason for stopping here is behind me. So this wheat stubble was baled, and then the mustard was blown in by the Cunero just directly into the stubble, and because of rain, harvest, other delays, we didn't manage to get back and stubble rake it. So I'm really pleased with how consistent it is even without a stubble rake. And this is already sold for grazing, so we shall follow this through to grazing, and then it's going into spring wheat in the spring. So thank you everybody for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, click on the little bell to get a notification of when our next video goes live, and see you next time. Bye.